Hello and welcome back to BIPC, where we will be getting underway with round one in a second. Seeding is all done, all the players are slotted into place. We have a bracket formed, and yeah, we will have the first match for you very, very soon. The match we've gone for is round one, match 6, which is Babz, Nyaruko, Xeres, and sister-twiddies. I think Babz versus Nyaruko could be a really fun battle. I think there'll also be a battle up back between Xeres and twiddies. I don't think there should be much issue of, who gets through and who doesn't in this one, but that's kind of a way that it goes with the early rounds.
Twiddies and Xeres. It's going to be interesting because let's say Nye has a bad couple rounds, Twiddies or Xeres could sneak in maybe. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm sure that they can somewhat safe, especially with Twiddies because Twiddies has played about 20 minutes altogether, which is typical Twiddies. I'm sure he's eating some snacks whilst he's playing as well because that's just a Twiddy thing to do.
Yeah.
As I know from TSCC, which is yeah, it's interesting. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure it's going to be a good game anyway.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see some good rounds. I reckon Babz and Yar will be really close. For sure. But maybe Xeres can sneak in a bit. If you can catch them off guard on some rounds where a couple of them make mistakes. Here, both Nyar and Babz are on the crashier side as players go. They both kind of look at pace over consistency. So yeah, I don't know. One of the others could get a couple of surprise second places. In round, make for a more interesting battle.
Yeah, I mean, it might be interesting from a Babs and I point of view if they go in with a game plan to go, oh, okay, it's fine. Like these two don't quite have our pace. We don't have to push as much. But then, from what I know of Babs, he'll push anyway.
Yeah.
Babs and Safin does not work.
No, not at all.
And Nye, I haven't seen too much of Nye. Obviously, I did in the rounds, but in other competitions. So, from my point of view, Nye is like a wild card. Either can be really good, or he can fumble.
Yeah, like we've seen Nyaruko in a fair number of competitions before. His pace is never in question, and his consistency always is. He just always drives as fast as he possibly can. As I see him warm up, he drives into the very first corner in Ladior. Just that sums it up quite well.
Yeah,
I'll see whether
yeah,
he can hold together for this match, but he's such a wild card coming into any match. You never quite know which version of Nyaruko you're going to get or how many rounds he can just happen to hold together that time.
I mean, even if he makes it day 2, he might even push himself further, or he could just not turn up at all.
Yeah, we'll see. And I think that does add some value to this game of, even though, it's a shame before the game has even started to be like, yeah, we reckon it'll be Yara and Babz going through. But I cannot tell you which order they'll go through in. And that will make a difference because that does affect which part of the bracket they end up in. Because, from this first set of matches, when you go into your next match, it'll be 2 players who came first and 2 players who came second in their respective matches. And you'd much rather be one of the players who came first in their first round match.
Yeah, it'll set you up nicely for the future. So do they even scrap that game plan of going, okay, we can save a bit and go, we need to get first here. But then does one of them maybe think, oh, he'll safe, it'll be fine. It's, might be some mind games, but I think Babs and I are on the straight and narrow and go, okay, I'm just going to push to get first here.
Yeah, sure. I wonder when we will be getting underway. I imagine it'll be quite soon.
Isn't I in the server yet?
Something is broken in the server. We will be
Oh,
back in a minute.
okay.
2 seconds. As I
I
try
mean,
to fix that.
I
I
can
don't
chat
know
if you'd
what
like.
just happened. Now, this is always the joy of trying to produce and cast at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it dragged me out of spectator mode and then the match didn't start.
Interesting. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
some of our production are playing, so not everything's gonna run smoothly.
Yep. You're gonna chat for a bit, and I'm going
chat.
to hop over
Okay.
to another. Oh no, I can't even hop over to another. Okay, I'm just gonna ping KJ.
Okay, I'll chat. So obviously we've got the rounds, the seedings. Obviously, upper A, Wizzy, Miles, Shorty Wolf. There's B, which is Geordie, Stag, Orion. C, Hendo, Rebel, Acros. D, Jadon, Zephyr, and Boz. Boz obviously going quite roughly in his you know, game so far, but I'm sure he's slowly getting the hang of controller. Obviously in E, we've got OC on top seed, which I don't like saying. Octawob, Rob, and Akil. And then obviously the one with spectating, which is Babz, Nye, Xeres, and Twiddies. Babz obviously getting the top seed with Nye second. I mean, going on to the low ones, obviously Killian, Kai, Eli, and Bog. Bog didn't have a too impressive start, if I hope he doesn't mind me saying. But I'm sure, maybe Nears are just getting the better of him, and he can hopefully pull through, because obviously I've come up against him TSCC and in other competitions, and the Irish do have some really good players, but maybe it's just a campaign Andy. We'll have to see. And then obviously in the last one, we've got Idol, we've got Koza, Polybara, and Manskip Truck, who I know only recently started playing the tracks. He isn't doing too bad in all considering. I think he's been playing for a week or maybe just shy. I know Paolo has been streaming him pracking. Koza, I know he's been putting in some proper times, and Idol is just Idol. I know most of the time he can get the job done. And yeah, are we nearly ready to go, Pad, by any chance?
Not yet. Unfortunately. I might need to throw to a very quick break as Twitty is currently in a match talking about cookies. So you're right, he is in fact snacking. Yep, sorry, this will be a 1 minute long break as I just have to hop into another call to try and get this sorted. Always great fun, that.
Wouldn't be a BITM production without some hiccups.
Oh, something has to break, you know. Something has to break. I'll be back in a moment.
I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you send me a like, 'cause I can take it, I can take it. You got me feeling alright, yeah. Every day by your side, yeah. Can you send me a like, 'cause I can take it, I can take it. I don't wanna think about it every day. You know that you kinda wanna feel the same way. So much time, you just had to pretend. I've been so lost, I just wanna run away. Run away right now. I gotta go, I'm wasting my attention. You've been on my mind, I could touch the sky. Starlights, I'll be running up and down, trying to think about you all the time. I don't really need to apologize. I know, I feel like it. I'll be staying outside, yeah, so I don't think about life, yeah. Can you send me a like, 'cause I can take it, I can take it.
Right.
Back.
Fingers crossed. Should now be working. We will be live with a match in a minute. I do apologise for that. It definitely wasn't my fault at all.
Although we won't pin the blame on anyone. But I
no,
think we can all guess
definitely
whose problem it was.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a classic, of course. Panther, why did you break our match? You know, had to make it more interesting somehow for me.
Get the suspense going. I mean, Pad, if you're looking towards the other brackets, is there any surprise names you think they can pull off an upset, or?
Based off seeding positions, I think Babz will beat Zephyr.Chris.
Yeah.
I think that is technically an upset. Similarly, I would hope Akros, despite his internet issues, will be able to get past Rebel.
Yeah.
Past then, in terms of potential upsets, I can't see anyone who's really standing out for me. Miles versus Sean, I think, will be very close in match 1. Because I think they are 16th, 17th seed. Killian as well could be pretty close. Koza Idol will be battle of the safety car. But yeah, I think the biggest upset as such will be Chris being thrown straight into lower bracket kind of undeservedly because he's run into Boz and Jaden immediately.
Yeah,
and a
that
similar
is
story for Rebel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going into a match and we're going into Candy Crush, which means you get a cool map intro. We'll be back with a match in a second.
Come and set me free. Come and set me free.
Here we are, round 1 of BIPC. First match, Babz defies Xeres and sister-twiddies here, and it is Babz who is off to a good start. And as I said, he's gone flying. The first caster curse of
and
BIPC 2024 matches begins by the time we get 15 seconds in. I'm pretty proud of that. We were talking before about how it's possible that the likes of Xeres will be able to snipe a kind of few second places from Nya and Babz, as they are kind of inconsistent players, and I think we're going to see that almost immediately as Xeres too far behind Nya to catch him, and realistically I don't think he's going to be able to catch Nya on pace, but we'll start off ahead of Babz. Looking alright here on Candy Crush to begin with. Quite a tricky track, so always useful to get any clean rounds you can, as Babz does cross line 3rd, and Twiddies makes it 4th. So Babz at least rescues 3rd. But Nya complaining about stutters. Nya also plays on a potato. This is important information for when you see all of his inevitable complaining.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Xeres hasn't done too bad in seeding wise. I'm sure he'll be happy with that second, in the first round. Can he keep it up though? It's a question. As Babz goes wide, which I don't know what's happening with Babz at the moment. It's quite unlike Babz.
Honestly, Babz crashing isn't super out of character for him, but he is a fast player, and I reckon he'll probably be able to claw his way back past Xeres here, as we do see him start to out on the grass, and then will he make up the time on the dirt? Yeah, pretty much. He's almost there now. But that first sausage is deceptively easy because, it's not the most difficult drift in the world, but if you do get it wrong, you have potential to go to space. There's a very similar style one on Menace as well, where, drifting on, like, one side of a sausage has potential to just send you absolutely flying. There's one on Ledior as well. This campaign is very punishing for it in general. That round goes a little more as you'd expect. Nyaruko picks up the win ahead of Babz, Xeres, and Twiddies. We'll see if Babz here can clean up this first section. This seems to be where he's struggling the most. Can he... That still isn't a great line, to be honest, but it's better than Yar's.
Yeah, Nye has
Oh,
gone
someone
wayward.
die back there. That was Xeres. Yeah, we now have a proper race in our hand. Nyar versus Babz here. Nyar with a slight clip, I think, losing out time before pole drift. And Babz with a questionable start. That is a questionable dirt entry, but he does rescue it despite bouncing around a fair bit. Nyar goes so inside there.
Wow. Gonna be a close finish, this.
Oh yeah, as we ride down to the line, it looks like it will go the way of Babz, but it needs a small mistake, and it isn't going to happen. Babz, get to win on the board. He'll be quite happy to see that after a rocky start. Hopefully starting to find his way into the match here. Twiddies beats Xeres there. Could be influential where you end up in the lower bracket for those two. And Nyar finally bleeds.
I've taught him well, I go see.
Might
I
be
mean-
Nyaruko's aura disrupting the other player. It's very possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of Nye, like the first 2 rounds, he's driving roughly like 0.5 slower than his PB at the moment, which is still really respectable. I mean, Babz is roughly 2 tenths faster than him, or just shy of 2 tenths faster than PB wise. So, I mean, it's still up for grabs, and as you can see right now, it is just going to be a battle of these 2 giants really in this bracket.
Yeah, Nyar gets a very clean outside dirt there and will extend the gap to Babz to a quarter of a second now. I don't think Babz can make this up now without a mistake, or, you know, if Nyar were to drop a gear or something on this plastic. Looks like he keeps it together. And he will be crossing the line to pick up another round win. That is 3 out of 4 here. Nyar on Candy Crush, and... What? He looks as confused by this as everyone else. Nice time as well, 56.6.
Yeah, that's just, well, that is exactly, maths, Jake. That's just shy of 2 tenths, tenth of his PB, sorry. As you can tell, I didn't really pass maths. Didn't really pass much, but you know, it's fine. I'm learning. So, what is the second map we're going on to, Padster?
This is Capital. Where I've got to see whether there's a single round I can go through without bringing up Nyar crashing the finish that one time. Because it was so funny. But, yeah, for 2 players who have struggled with consistency, I would argue it's opened up with 2 of the harder maps for consistency first. And in my opinion, Capital is probably the hardest thing in the pack. So I'd expect to see some shenanigans here. But...
Yeah, I mean, I've just had a look at Nyar's and Babz PB, and there's only 900ths between them. But obviously, time attack to, you know, round is there is a lot of difference. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Even if like you look at splits and see his head, not even by much, but you feel like you need to push, that can, you know, make you a bit more nervous. Takes.
Yeah, it'll be a good battle here as we move on to Capital. We get underway here on Capital. See how all the players can take on this very challenging track. It is looking good for Babzify as we see an immediate mistake from Xeres. That is an opportunity for sister-twiddies there. Never mind. Babz versus Nyar here will be very close. Babz gets slightly more inside drift, which looks to benefit him slightly. But only 2 tenths between them right now. It could go either way. Babz goes so close to the inside there. I thought he was definitely going to clip out road border. Yeah, not super clean end from Nyar, but clean enough, and he does pick up a round win. As Twiddies DNF, that is going to be very nice for Xeres. It'll be another 2 points in the gap there. Of course, you get -12 for DNF instead of a standard -10 for 4th. And Xeres kind of needs those points if you want to make sure he can beat Twiddies, given he is not looking comfortable on the start of this track at all. Ooh, not at all there. So, yeah, Twiddies looking good for 3rd place, as we do once again have our standard battle between Nyaruko and Babz here. This time, it's roles reversed. It is Nyaruko behind, Babz in front, by almost the same gap as it was last round. But can Nyar try to close the gap? Oh, yes. No, and he's lost a ton of speed. I wonder, where is sister-twiddies? Is he close enough? Nope, he's in fact going to get passed by Xeres. Babz does make the finish despite that clip. And yeah, that is a round that really shouldn't have gone missing for Babz and Nyaruko. Yeah, looking really good here.
I'm gonna turn off my headset. Hold on. Hello. Okay. But did you have me muted?
I just managed to mute myself. I am pressing all the wrong buttons here. This is going well.
Oh, okay. Okay, the Twitch chat is saying now they can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
Cool.
what's going on here.
It's on my side. I think I fat-fingered something by accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good production there, as Xeres picks up 2nd there. Asking why he was 1st at some point. Yeah, he almost did get a round win. That would have been quite a sight to behold, but doesn't happen, sadly.
I mean, I'm sure when Xeres was first, he might have seen the one pop up and he might have panicked, maybe lost a bit of time. But again, Babz is so fast on this map. In terms of, you know, if you're comparing him with Xeres, so. But I mean, it's still all to play for. I mean, it does look like Twiddies will go out first, but again, anything can happen, really.
Yeah, this is looking quite comfortable for Xeres to be able to pick up a 3rd place. And kind of comfortable from Nyar as well. He's only not finished 1st twice so far out of 7 rounds, so for a player famed for inconsistency, this has actually been a fairly consistent stand.
Oh, I could see it as you were saying it.
Sorry, Nyar.
That's not good.
You know, things happen.
I assume he will be expecting a formal apology from you.
Yeah, I'll start writing one now.
Yeah. So Xeres gets 3rd there, but he could have snuck 2nd from Nye.
Yeah.
Which again, would have been bad for Nye, but also pretty alright for Xeres.
Yeah, he definitely would have taken that, I think. But I think his aim in this match will be 3rd, and he's looking pretty good for that. I'm now going to check every audio level I have access to.
It might have just been my headset. I'm not too sure.
Oh no, it was definitely my side. I could see it.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, what map do we have up next, Pat?
We
Please
do.
enlighten us.
We do have Ledior.
Ledior.
Coming up next week
Okay.
with the players warming up on. Obviously, the newer map, this kind of nullifies a slight advantage that Babz and Yar will have from having played it about 2 years ago, which I'm not sure is that big of an advantage, to be honest, but yeah, this match is kind of as expected, looking like it will be Babz versus Yar, but I think it'll be pretty tight between them.
Yeah, I mean, even looking down the PBs now, Twiddies clocking in with a 1 minute 22 seconds, which is scary pace, I have to say. Again, he hasn't really trained the maps or practiced the maps, so I can't really say too much. Xeres with a 1 minute 1.24, which is a respectable time. And then obviously Babz with a minute 0.3 and Nye with a minute 0.4. So again, first and second is going to be close.
Yeah. We'll see how they can all get on here on Ledio.
And we are live.
Yep, here we are. Babz versus Yar, and Babz has gone. And Babz has gone.
This is
Ledio takes his first victim here. As Xeres and Twiddies gifted an opportunity to try and finish above their usual kind of third and fourth here. Is Xeres able to put enough pressure on Yar for Yar to make a mistake? Yes,
Oh,
I manifested it there. He has indeed. This is a very good round for Xeres. Now, and it gives Babz a chance here to, you know, in his battle with Yar, maybe try and catch up. It's still quite a gap, but Yar, his lines probably aren't compromised too much anymore. He's had enough time to recover from his crash. It's a far closer gap than it was.
Yeah, I mean, even this last drift is a bit shaky.
Is Xeres going to make it to the finish?
Just like that.
He does! By 19,000! Oh, he really tried his best to lose that round.
I mean, I didn't mean to curse or anything, but...
No. Oh, 20s! Oh! Avoid for DNF by 1 second.
So I believe if Twiddies doesn't win, he goes out this round?
He'll go down to last chance. Where if he comes last in one more round, he will be eliminated. Yeah. With points repetition, he will need either a first or a second here from Twiddies, which I don't think he's got one of all match so far. So looking pretty rough for the Welshman. As he is 1.5 seconds behind now.
I'm sure he won't be too fussed because he can just have a snack after it's done.
True. Beforehand, he was talking about cookies. So I reckon he'll probably go back to them as soon as he can.
Nye is keeping pace here on this map. He's keeping Babz at bay. He's actually slowly losing Babz as I say that.
Yeah, he loses a bit of speed there. This is going to be very tight to the line.
Wow. Babz just nicks it.
Yeah, Babz snipes him by an incredibly fine margin. Nyaruko reckoning he was on PB. Twiddies has eaten all the snacks. As he goes into last chance. Hey, maybe he can now full focus.
Yeah. Maybe Twiddies just been playing the game. Gives them a chance, goes down to last chance, and then just pulls it out the bag.
Yeah, exactly. He'll only need to avoid coming last for like 5 rounds or something with the gap there as currently has. Which, considering how far down he is after 1 CP, is looking quite unlikely here. I think this might be the end of Twiddies. Unfortunately, Xeres pretty close to Babz and Yar. Definitely there to pick up pieces if a mistake happens, but once again it is Babz and Yar pulling ahead here in a very, very close battle between the two of them. I
mean, with Xeres PB, he's less than a second behind, so even one slight mistake from these, like even if it's a slight touch, Xeres can nip second or first if both of them do touch.
Yeah, we've seen a few rounds like that already, but it looks like this time around both will be keeping it clean. Babz on a better run than Nyar, and as I say that, Nyar clips the very last thing on the map he possibly could have. Twice. Nyar, don't DNF. There we go. I don't know what Twiddy's more sad about, being knocked out, or the fact he's eaten all his cookies, but that will be the end. First, Twiddy's in the upper bracket. He will go down to the lower bracket. And for now, it is Babz, Nyar, and Xeres who remain in the match. Babz and Nyar on a completely equal 70 points after 12 rounds, and Xeres on about half of that. But with a good opportunity here to take some points off Babz as Babz makes an early mistake. And Xeres, honestly, right now, just on pace ahead of Nyar.
He's driving really well, Xeres.
Yeah, honestly, for his, he's not as experienced as Nyar and Babz. He hasn't been in the game as long. So, to be able to, keep him in touching distance and at least be there to punish mistakes, it's a reasonably impressive performance from the Englishman.
When you say touching distance, he is slowly gaining time until towards the last stages where he does start to lose time. But during that mid, he did gain around a tenth and a half. So now he's got to be somewhat careful.
Yeah, they can't mess about too much here. As Babz will be very heavily punished for that mistake by not losing 6, but in fact losing 9 points, which is going to increase the gap to Nyar quite heavily, as we will move on to the next map. Which I definitely know off the top of my head. It's Menace. Of course it's Menace.
God, that was your nickname in high school, wasn't it, Padster? Menace?
Menace. Oh, God,
yeah. I heard you were a proper whippersnapper back in the day.
Very wrong, Ben.
So, any standout favourites on this map, Pads, or is it the same as always? Well, not same as.
I think it will be a fairly standard situation of Babz versus Nyar. I'll have a look at kind of time attack time to see whether there is.
I mean, there is 100th between Babz and Nye, or thereabout.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Xeres is clocking over 62.5, which again is still in touching distance if one of them do take a slower line touch or just end up crashing. So Xeres still in contention here, and it's going to be interesting to see.
He's going to need to drive very well here, but I think to be able to handle this. Anyway, this is map 4, and we will be back with you shortly with Menace.
We're live.
Yep, get underway here, and
Xeres with an interesting line.
Yeah, even on the start thing, you can see what a big difference that it can, a tiny little change of start can make that puts him almost immediately 2 tenths behind, with Nyar and Babz absolutely neck and neck for the time being. Both survived the first proper scary part of this map, and both survived the second. I think that's definitely the part of the map with most potential to go wrong. They both make it through.
Babz has some nice speed here.
Yeah, we're on slightly different lines, but very, very similar times here. See how they get on with the gears here. Babz going down to third, but manages to keep it entirely in third, but doesn't make the corner. That will go away with Nyar, as Xeres turns up as well. We've spoken about You know, in fact, he can be in touching distance in case of mistakes, but this time around, it's not quite enough. He needed just a little more pace there to be able to beat Babz.
Yeah, I mean, Nye has just been on fire in these rounds here. He's really living up to the challenge of battling Babz here. So
Mm.
I think Nye would be really happy with this performance so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Babz comes into this as the higher seed. You know, from seeding, Babz was in 6th and Nyaruko was in 11th, so this is an upset. Maybe not in terms of who we're expecting to go through, but if Nyaruko can beat out Babz here, can, you know, go through as a match winner rather than a 2nd place, it's certainly going to put a few people out of place, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's always just so close between these two. I was a bit sketchy. I mean, Knight did lose some speed there, going through that dodgy turn, and Babz just looks like he's just gaining speed. Although they do take the same line now this time, as Knight did take a different line last round.
Yep. Xeres seems to be on a slightly better run, just behind, and this time he will definitely pick up the pieces of a crash. This time it is from Nyaruko. We were just thinking with praise loss for, you know, being able to upset Babz here, but this shows it definitely isn't guaranteed yet.
No, not at all. He does lose 9 points there, which is quite rough considering only Babz lost 6 last round. I know Nye was probably hoping that Babz lost 9 there.
Yeah, for sure. It brings the gap down to just 4 points between the two of them. With Xeres down on 15 now, so I think Xeres has been trying to do what he can on this track and is just struggling on pace. He's driving as consistently as he realistically can and setting pace, you know, not far from his PB. But
Well, I mean,
he might just...
he hasn't. Go on.
Yeah, he might just be a little too far back on pace here.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't crashed this match yet, which is it's good. I assume that's what he was most concerned about going into this match. Maybe, you know, pick up a few points here and there, but ultimately I don't think it is going to do too much, considering if he comes last here, he will lose 9.
Yeah, but his consistency here, I mean, we say that he's had an absolute nightmare round. Oh, Babz! Oh, Babz holds on by the skin of his teeth. I'll put him equal on points as well. But Xeres' consistency is certainly gonna help him into the lower bracket, where I think the players will be kind of around his pace. But if he can out-consistency them, he could well, you know, make it some distance in the lower bracket before kind of pace your players start dropping down.
Yeah, he could be one to watch in the lower brackets. Like you said, if he shows consistency like he has done in these matches against Babz and Nye, he can go pretty far in the low brackets, I believe.
Yeah. But for this round, he will drop into finalist unless he can pick up a round win, which will require...
Looks like he's going for
a small miracle, but he is sending it. I mean, he's got nothing
nice
left to
line
lose
there, too.
at this point. Yeah, hold the Barkley line with Babz. I reckon we'll see Babz gain a bit on the drift, but not as much as I expected. Xeres is just here on pace this time around. He's done waiting for crashes and mistakes, and this time he's like, no, I'm going to be here. Unfortunately, the gear does go wrong there. The easiest way to drop a few attempts on this map, most definitely, and his attempt doesn't get him anywhere in the end, but he was probably on PB pace until that end happened.
Yeah, for sure. I like, even though he is finalist now, I'd like to think that he really happy with himself in that round, because he did properly push, and he kept up. So
yeah. As we have a little bit of time to deal here as we warm up for the next track, we do have some results coming in from the other matches. Of course, I'll start a little bit late because of someone, definitely not me, causing some technical issues. The the good news for you, as a Welshman,
Yeah.
Akro's internet is back alive. It is working again.
Okay.
So he's got to fly through from a really awkward spot in the bracket. But apparently it's working again. He was able to beat Rebel, lost out to Hendo by quite a margin, though. So he won't be too happy about that, but he will at least make it on to the next round, where the second place of this round, according to Yatta, will be playing him. Which is scary.
Yeah.
Other results that have come in. Jorday has beaten Steg, who has beaten Orion. That is no real surprise to anyone. Bozbez has woken up. Whatever happened in seeding, he seems to have put those gremlins behind him. He is knocked out Chris with Jaden. Jaden on to last chance, I believe. We'll get results from that match very soon. Boz only on a handful of points. They're not quite over, but honestly, Jaden's a very, very good player. That's a respectable player to lose to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm even looking at the other brackets now. OC's bracket, he is absolutely storming.
Thrashed it, yeah.
He is. I think he'd be really, really happy with his performance today as we go into the first round of our final match.
Indeed.
Look at me adminning.
Good on things. Very, very good, very good.
So if you'd like to remind me what map this is, please, Pad.
I'm going to be falling apart a little bit there.
Yep.
This is Candy Crush by Mime. And yeah, Xeres can't lose this round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over at PPs now, and it doesn't look too pretty for him. So, unless he can pull off a miracle, I have a feeling, especially with how far behind he is, I do believe he's going out this round.
Yeah, 8 attempts down is a gap he probably can't make up. So, I think that'll be it, unless there is a mistake from one of Nyar and Babz here. Xeres has crashed again, and I think, all things considered, Xeres should be happy with his performance. The fact that, you know, Babz and Nyar were south of the halfway mark, I would take that if I was Xeres. I end up in a match, you know, of this quality.
Yeah, and he's pushed them a bit, in all fairness. And even though he's out, I'm sure you look back at it and go, I've done well.
Yeah, he's done what he's can. He's beaten Twiddies, which was his job, and, you know, I think he's put in... He's gained a bit of experience, of course, just playing matches. The first couple you play are so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get used to, like, right, this is what it feels like, this is what's going on.
As Babz touches.
Yeah, Babz touches, and the points repetition changes here to the winner losing 4 points and the loser losing 8 points. So this is going to increase the gap quite heavily to 12 points in total between Nyar and Babz.
Yeah, I mean, in previous rounds, Babz looks quite crashy on this map. You know, you never know what round you were going to get with Babz. It could be really fast Babz, or, oh, I'm just going to crash into a wall because I feel like it.
Yeah.
As Nye gets a PB.
Yeah, meanwhile, a player of similar stature definitely, yeah, he shows off the other side of a coin as he sets a PB in rounds.
That is...
As you do.
That's 0.16 PB. So,
honestly,
any PB is a PB. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. 0.016.
Oh, okay, that's slightly less impressive. I'm like, 1.5 attempts, honestly, respect... Yeah, no, okay.
But
hey,
PB is a PB. And I'm sure this will fill him with confidence for the future rounds.
Once again, Nyar is not driving with any kind of safety, and it's just going absolutely full send, as is tradition. This time around, we got a decent scrap in our hands. Babz gets a far better outside dirt blow. That will move him ahead of Nyaruko for now. Can Nyaruko try and claw it back on the tech section? Not quite. So it's going to come down to this downhill plastic. Both keep the gear. Nyaruko looking like he has a little more speed. This is going to be absolute neck and neck. He goes for a tighter line.
He takes it.
And that makes a difference.
Wow.
14,000.
What a great round.
Yeah. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Nye just looks like he's just in his groove. He's found his lines, and he's just driving exceptionally well. I'm quite disappointed I haven't seen more bonks from him, if I'm being totally honest.
I thought we'd get several
I was...
speech bubbles out of Nyar, but not to be.
No, not at all. I mean, I have been told before the match that Nye does like to bonk, but at the moment it's Babz who's the one who's falling behind. So, as I say that, Nye touches. Okay.
Thank you, Jake, for your contribution.
Yep, it's
absolutely
okay.
incredible stuff there. Babz will definitely be taking this round, assuming he doesn't make any mistakes, as that'll be too big a gap to make up for Nyar. And Babz really needs it. The gap is up to 16 points. And even if he wins the next 4 rounds, in fact, if he doesn't win the next 4 rounds, he will definitely end up a finalist before Nyaruko does. Which is not an envious position to be in.
No, not at all.
Guys,
As I hear an
Nyaruko
ice
clips
cream
again.
man in your background there.
Yeah, I've got a lovely random person driving about selling ice cream.
Please get me a 99 with a flake. I will pay you
Ah.
handsomely.
I'm sure it won't be melted by the time I get over to the middle of Wales.
No, it'll be fine. I'll meet you halfway.
Birmingham, we calling it then?
Yeah.
We have to.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to go to Birmingham.
No, me neither, to be perfectly honest.
I'd rather stay clear. As we move on to the next map.
Yeah, we are warming up now on to Capital.
So Babz could come find us here, right? In this map?
Yeah, it's quite likely he will, to be honest. You know, 3 more losses and he is into finalist, which would give him 1 round finalist on this map. The only way... no, he'd avoid finalist if he wins... he'd need to win 2 rounds to avoid finalist on this map. Which,
I mean, it is an interesting map, this one.
Yeah, sure. We've seen mistakes from both of them. Tell you what, I'm going to have a quick check of if we have any more results in. And we do. Babz has beaten out Jaden, so he is clearly back in his groove. Wizzy has beaten Miles, who has beaten Sean. That is no shock at all, to be honest. OC has won his match, so we'll now move to face Babz. In the quarterfinals. Killian is looking in a good position to beat Kai. To wrap that one out, and Idol has beaten Koza in the battle of the safety cars.
Yeah, I did have a sneaky suspicion that Koza might feel a bit of the pressure now. He was in a big boy bracket. So, I mean, we can only see what it holds next, really, as we go on to our next match.
On the Capital here. Just 2 players left in this one. But it's been quite a good 1v1 so far between them. Sometimes at the start of these tournaments, you know, you do end up with a lot of 1v1s early on, and they sometimes aren't the greatest thing. But this time, I think we've got a pretty good one, because I really can't call it going into each round, as this time they are pretty much neck and neck. By the time I finish that sentence, Babz has made a very, very costly mistake there.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy with that one. And that might even set him up for the future rounds where he might take that corner a little bit safer and lose time to Nye. Whereas, you know, Babz, especially at this point in time, needs these wins to come in.
Yeah, but he really has to be there every round. 12-point gap when there's only kind of a 4-point difference on offer each time is not much at all. And that will extend to 16 as Babz drops down to just 11 points now. And we'll confirm by the end of this track he will definitely be on finalist.
Right.
It's just a case of will he be on finalist of round 4 here or round 1 of the next one. We will see. Oh, this time it's Nyar who makes the early mistake. It's not Okay, I was gonna say it's not that big a gap. It now is. It now definitely is.
Yeah.
Oh, how did he not clip the outside there?
Wow.
Well, it's gone
Had me
for sure.
tense in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this
Yeah,
round is
that
definitely
round
done
is
for now.
Yeah, that's definitely over.
I mean, if he does DNF, doesn't he lose more points also?
Yeah, but I don't think he's... I mean, it is Nyar. Has he just typed help in chat during the round?
Uh-oh. I mean, I'm sure Babz is trying to go as quick as he can to try and make Nye DNF here.
Yeah, I
Don't know if
think
it'll do
Nyar will be
too
there
much.
so long as he
Yeah.
makes finish, which he does. You know, Nyar would
Whilst
never,
typing mid-round.
ever, mess up that finish. That would never happen.
Never. What? No.
Ow.
Not now. Going into round 3 here.
Yep, and Babz is now at risk of going into last chance. If he loses this round, he will enter last chance.
I definitely senses that as he's driving really pushy lines right now.
Yeah, it
Although he
goes
does go
full
wide there.
outside there. Yeah, it doesn't work out best for him. Babz goes on the inside, loses a bit of stability on his car, but does maintain most of his speed, which is the important bit, as these two basically neck and neck on this round.
Yeah, Babz done so well to recover there.
Oh, and Nyar goes.
Oh no.
Babz pushes him enough, and Nyar cracks, makes a big mistake. And Babz will be safe till the end of Capital, but no further. But Nyar now starting to get down to a really, really small number of points here.
Yeah, the nears might be setting in now.
Yeah.
He does have a safety net going into the last round, but it's. I'm sure the nerves are starting to get to him now. They have
Yeah.
to be.
But assuming Babz has seen the points, he'll know right now, just push. Doesn't matter for him if he comes first and second. Really matters for Nyar.
Yeah.
So I expect to see a quick round from Babz or a crash, one of the two. Nyar gets a slightly better drift though, and does claw his way ahead of Babz for the time being. Babz gets a better jump though. Moves in front of these two, still absolutely neck and neck.
Really don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah,
It's
I
always so
can't
close
call it.
during this mid.
Oh, I thought Babz was going into the barrier like Nyar did last round, but doesn't happen. Nyar resists the temptation to try and drive over that corner and get a potential clip. But for now, it looks like Nyar has this one done. And he does just about make a finish, as Babz will move into last chance. Nyar on 7 points.
Wow. Wowee. Wowza. I can't think of any more words that start with wow, but this is a spectacle. This is just really good gameplay from these two. I mean, again, like we just said, you don't know who's gonna come first. It's gonna be so interesting. I do believe Nya has it, but Babz could well and truly just shut him out here, as he has got the faster PB, I do believe.
Yeah, it's possible. This is not the point in time I think Nyar would be wanting to move map, to be honest. So,
No.
there's kind of two scenarios here. Either Babz loses the first round, gets knocked out, and Nyar wins the match. But if Babz doesn't lose, Nyar will go on to finalists, and we get a double finalist next round. Personally, I would love to see that.
Yeah. I hope as well the viewers would love to see a double finalist as well. Grab
Yeah.
their snacks. I'm sure Twiddies is in chat grabbing his snacks. He's absolutely loving this.
Second pack of cookies, ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the brackets now, the upper quarterfinal, number L, or letter L, is filled out with Boz, Bez, OC, Miles, and Koza. That's going to be a really good match, I believe.
Yeah. Even
the
the warm-ups are good between these two. Sorry, I just drove. Get a GR for warm up there. That's kind of going a second early, guys. But
Yeah. You just see how much it means to these players to get first, really.
Oh yeah, and it will have quite a big influence in terms of who they face up against, because whoever loses this has to face up against Jorday, Acros, and Killian, which is not a nice set of people, particularly the Jorday and Acros bit.
That is a group to fear. I mean, Killian did very well in seeding as well. Like we can't even put down Killian. Like I'm sure even in this, if he was in this match, he would give them a good run for their money.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Killian can perform exceptionally well. Sorry, I forgot to transition thing. We are into the round now, and Babz
Good admin.
does. Babz does lead for now, but it is very close. Nyar gets a better jump going onto this third downhill. It is going to be so incredibly tight here. Looks like Nyar has it for now, but there's still plenty of time to make up on this track, and it is only a 10th difference. Can Babz claw back anything here? Goes for a really tight drift. Looks like he claws back a bit. It's going to come down to this final drift. Who can get it better? It looks like Babz does, but clips the inside. And that will be GG.
Babz, I think Babz is going to be annoyed with that last drift because it was there for the taking and I went so wide there. I mean, still, what a match. I mean, I'm glad we did actually spectate this match because it's one for the records.
That was round one match, everyone. That was round one. Of like...
There's just more to come.
I think 10 time slots in total? I don't even know how many. Yeah.
That's just...
Wow.
I'm glad I cast it.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your first time on cast.
Yep.
I'm not sure if we'll have time for an interview given how far we are behind already. So yeah, I don't think we'll have time for an interview or anything, but yeah, congrats to Nyar for making it through there, and we will be back very shortly, hopefully, with the next set of matches. That will be all from us two, though. We will have a new set of people into the booth. So thank you for joining us, Jake. I hope you've enjoyed your first time on the mic. I hope you enjoyed randomly cursing some people to crash into walls, as that is most of the job.
Yeah, no, honestly, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I don't think I would have paid too much attention to BIPC stream, but I'm happy I did. That was such an exciting match, and you know, again, thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
No worries, and I'll still be here in the background, but I'll still be letting some other people take over the mic for the time being. So, thank you for joining, and we will be back shortly.